Hey, my name is Pinky Ghelani and you are watching Pinky TV. Welcome to another episode of What Women Want. Remember, these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank, and if you watch all the way till the end, I'll give you details on how you can win a phone from Safaricom. I'm so grateful for this job that I have because I get to meet some wonderful women. And I have to say that they're completely honest in their journeys. They're completely honest with their conversations with us. And there's so much you can learn. If you are watching on Facebook, make sure you tag a friend who can benefit from this conversation. And if you are on YouTube, subscribe to this channel so you can help us grow this community and, of course, garner some great knowledge from our conversations. Today's guest is super exciting. She probably doesn't need an introduction at all. You already know her. But, you know, I'm going to throw it at her. Maureen Waititu, hello.
Hi, Pinky.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's such a privilege. It's always amazing to see you. And, you know, it's like we just know each other.
That's the thing.
This is social media.
That's
it's like, yeah, we're best friends on social media.
Honestly, and I love you and I love your work.
Oh, thank you.
So really, thank you for
having me. And likewise. So, you know, the theme for season 3 of What Women Want is unlearn. And one of the things as women I feel that we need to unlearn is not knowing how to own our space. So unlearning the, you know, being timid. And the way that we're teaching our audience to do that is by asking our guests to introduce themselves without any apology. Like I said, you don't need an introduction perhaps, but show us how we can do it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Maureen Waititu. First, I'm a lawyer and I don't practice, but I love the fact that I'm a lawyer because it helps me with so many things on my day-to-day activities. I'm a passionate content creator. I have a YouTube channel called Maureen Waititu where I talk about everything lifestyle, motherhood, and everything in between. I'm also a businesswoman. I own a hair line and I'm also a TV host. Yes, I have a new show called The Nest where I interview moms about their journeys because I'm a mom myself, which is my other greatest job. I'm a mom of 2 very lovely boys whom I love very much.
Yay! There you go. You see, it's just done.
Yeah, it feels good.
You make it look so easy as well. Yeah, and it feels good. That's the point, right?
Yes.
Because I'm sure even as a media personality, you know that you do a lot of introducing of people, etc. And it's nice that sometimes, you know, you throw the challenge to the guest and see how much they actually own of their journey. Tell us, Maureen, a little bit about your upbringing and how you grew up, where you grew up, your mom and dad, your relationship with your mom and dad, so we understand a little bit more of who Maureen is.
All right. I'm a very simple girl from a very simple background, which I'm very proud of because that's what made me who I am. I grew up in a single parent household. Yes, I knew my dad. I've always known my dad throughout, although he came into my life much later, in fact, very recently. And it's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing to have, you know, talk to my dad whenever I feel like talking to him. And my mom, I was born in Nairobi, but I moved a lot. Nairobi, Kiambu, Nairobi, then finally Nairobi, pretty much all my life. Schooled here, never gone anywhere. And that's just about my background.
So when you say that you were raised by a single parent, that of course is your mom. How did she bring you up to be able to have a good relationship with your father? Even till today, like you said, he was always a part of your life.
Oh yes.
And you know, as women, sometimes we can be toxic.
We can be.
And we can be like, no, that man is not yet. So how did she do that?
That's a good question because one of the things I appreciate the most about her is that in as much as, yes, there was no relationship between them and him not being in my life, she never told me anything ill about him.
Amazing.
In fact, she never stopped me. Anytime I had a desire to see him or, you know, that time maybe write to him or call his landline in his office, she'd just like, go ahead. Which I think is very good because any decision or feelings I could make, I've never looked at my mom and said, you are the
was
one
because
who
of you.
Never.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's a gift.
Yes.
Because I'm in the same situation, and I learned the first thing I'll ever do with my kids is never talk ill to them about their father.
Yes.
Yeah, and also to break the cycle.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That really is amazing. And that means your mom must have been in a very good space internally.
I think if she wasn't, she hid it very well.
Wow.
You know, because I think the generation that raised us, they had very many traumas.
Yes,
but they knew how
absolutely.
to cover them. And I think the generation now that we are in, the grown-ups,
Yes.
the young parents now, we know better because we are more aware. And so life becomes easier because we are more forgiving. In fact, I remember part of my therapy, because I had to go for therapy at some point,
Right.
was to let go of maybe any mistakes my parents would have made for me to become who I am. It's very enlightening. It gives you freedom to say, okay, this is the course of my life. It has nothing to do with mom and dad, because we've talked.
Yes.
And they shared their struggles, what they went through. But growing up, she never really projected anything towards me. It was all love and protection.
So at what point in your life do you realize, especially when you know you've had quote unquote a strong mother,
Yes.
when do you realize within yourself that oh my gosh, I might need therapy?
This came just after my breakup. Everybody knows about it. I'm not going into it, but I said, okay, I had this opportunity in my life. How do I become a better person so that I can break the cycle? Because at some point I was so tormented. I'm like, oh, this is going to go again, like how it went with my mom and all that. And I decided, you know what? I will not shy away. Let me go in. Let me hear. And I'm still learning about myself till now.
Absolutely.
And it's been the most, I think, the best school I've attended.
Isn't it?
It's a school of life.
Would you recommend therapy?
Everybody needs some therapy.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Why do you say that?
Because we all have struggles that we can't resolve ourselves.
Alone.
Even therapists need therapists.
Yes.
A doctor needs a doctor. So sometimes you need the outside eye to look into you and obviously operate with your beats of struggles, because nobody's perfect.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. Are we trying to be perfect? No. We are trying to be more aware of our actions and how they affect those around us.
And do you think that you became more purposeful about healing yourself because you're a mother?
Definitely, absolutely, yes. I look at my two boys and I tell myself, if I fail, because I couldn't. So let me just retract. I sat somewhere at a salon, and this is when the government was changing the school system to what it is right now.
Yes.
You know, the 844. And I could hear a very passionate teacher who happened to be a client at the salon say, you know, kids are a gift from God, and you're entrusted to take care of them.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
one day you'll have to return them. And that's why there's a cycle of you come, your kids were chosen to be yours, mine are chosen to be mine. And it hit me hard, and I asked, okay, am I doing the right thing to my best of capacity to take care of them, so that when they become grown people, I'll be responsible for who they become? And so, yes, I became very deliberate and aware of my parenting, and they motivate me to be a better person each day.
I think that is amazing what you've just said. You know, when you say I've become deliberate in my parenting, how many of us actually look at how we parent?
Absolutely.
And you know, when a child is born, they say a mother is born.
Yes.
But I think we have the tools within us, right? A child is born, and a child, you know, takes its time to hit certain milestones, etc. But as mothers, we have to empower ourselves with the knowledge on how to become not even mothers, parents. We have to have that knowledge within our, and be deliberate. That's so amazing, Maureen, what you've just said that there. It's that that I think is something that we should all sort of work towards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not just in parenting, it's in what we do every
Okay.
day. I think it should be a frequent question every morning. What can I do today that will make me a better person tomorrow, or next year, or in 10 years? And those little milestones, if it means waking up an hour earlier to go and exercise so that you can be healthier. When we all say, I want to look hot and, and very sexy at 60, but what are you doing about it?
Yes.
You have to start the little journey of milestones that will give you the extra milestones.
Yes.
Yes.
So you've talked about, you know, taking an extra hour maybe in the morning. What is Maureen's morning routine? Have you done a YouTube?
I think I need to do
routine.
this.
Yes.
I think I need to do this. And I didn't have a routine, by the way, until I became a mom for the second time.
Yes.
And why I did that was because, first of all, as a mom, I realized that kids can confuse
Throw you off, yes.
And you realize, wait a minute, you guys, you came into my life. I didn't come into your lives. So, and again, there won't be them if there's no me.
Yes.
So I take my morning routine very serious, very.
Okay.
So I have at least an hour of, you know, my shower, scrub, I come out, have my coffee, there's always a show I'm playing. Actually, when I'm in the shower, you know, between the shower and getting out and now sitting down, maybe to do my makeup and all, I listen to prayers on a YouTube channel called Purpose for Grace.
Sure.
And it sets my day on that line, because sometimes you need that higher purpose to give you the day's purpose. So this is before I even interact with anybody else. And then now I'll have my coffee, do my makeup, perhaps I have my heavy breakfast much later.
Okay.
But usually I say that's my most therapeutic moment. Oh, I forgot. When I wake up, I take at least 10 minutes of just meditation and, you know, just thinking, how can I be better today? What am I feeling? What's going on within me? Sometimes I'm unable to execute that every day, but I make sure majority of the days I have my 1 hour of nothing. Nobody disturbs me. Nobody's allowed through the door. It's my moment.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you think that since you've been doing that, you've become a better person? Really?
Yeah, yeah, I have. Maybe for me.
No, but that's all that matters, right?
Right. Because I draw inspiration of becoming a better person from the people around me.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I could be doing something subconsciously that could be affecting maybe my household. And it comes like this. Maybe I wake up and I'm not in a good mood, and I decide everybody's not going to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, before I go out there, in fact, I just tell them, guys, today I'm not okay. So can we just forgive me in case I go down south? And you find they take a bit of care, you know, for you, especially my nanny. I love that woman.
Yes.
She'll know. Flo.
Flo.
I'm telling you, hey Flo. and she'll come with a plate of something nice. It's so beautiful. Yes, so I feel like actually my greatest inspiration to be a better person is from the people around me.
Who surround you.
Yes.
That's amazing. Now, of course, Maureen's life has not come without challenge, right?
Yeah.
And when we go through our challenges, how, because I know you've said that you find your connection with prayer, but how else do you face your challenges? What else helps you get through a challenging moment, challenging day, a challenging time?
Wow, again, very good question. Because actually this occurred to me very recently. So every day is different, and the older we grow, the more challenges there are. By the way, guys, nobody should lie to you about anything. And some of these challenges are not even voluntary. And we're talking of all-round kind of challenges, mental challenges, emotional challenges, physical challenges. You could be unwell. How do you do it? For me, the rule is the same. Walk through it, not around it, not over it, not under it. through it, because that's what will build your endurance to face yet another challenge.
Right.
So for me, it's awareness. I become aware and I say, today I'm not okay, I'm going through this, I'm feeling some type of way. How do I become, you know, how do I go through it? Sometimes if I need to cry, I'll cry it out proper. If I need 2 days out in bed just crying and weeping and not opening my curtains, I'll do it. Because sometimes we postpone the feeling and then it comes back harder.
Okay.
It comes back
Wow.
even worse, you know, like you know, even I know you love yoga, and
Yes.
they say breathe through it.
Yes,
you know,
that's it.
Just be balanced, and sometimes a pause will be so painful, but when you breathe through it, it just becomes more, you know, endurable.
Yes.
And before you know it, you become a pro at this thing.
And that's it.
Yes.
The next time is easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to anybody who's watching and who's looking to you
Yeah.
for guidance or advice, what would you tell them about, you know, like you said, as you get older, there will be challenges.
Yeah.
What would you tell them about being fearful of the unknown, what's coming at you?
All right. Again, let me pull biblical teaching that I learned when I was in high school. You know, as a teenager, I used to, in life, I've always known how to turn the wheel. Like, I don't know how to stand still. So
Okay.
I was turning the wheel.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd feel stagnant and I would appreciate, you know, I'm growing. And I remember one day I was stagnant per se. Goodness me. It was just homework and discipline. You know, that time I was
Yes.
so young, and I'm looking back and I'm like, I wish I can be given that challenge again. And I talked to the school director. She was a mentor to me, and I asked her, what do you do in such a situation? And I kept telling her, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. And then she told me, no, do you know this verse that says, do not worry. By worrying, will you add a single hour to your life? Look at the
Yeah.
birds in the sky. Who feeds them?
Yes.
Are they
worried?
more important
Yeah.
than you? And since then, I always go back to that verse, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you worrying? You don't even know what's going to happen the next minute. Live for the moment. In fact, be very deliberate about the moment, because this is how we end up spending time waiting for the perfect time to be okay. Hear me out. Maybe you could be struggling to lose weight, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, when I get to this weight, that's when I will start doing this.
Yeah. Why are you waiting?
Why are
no
you
pun
waiting?
intended.
Love
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
at every stage. As moms, we don't love our kids any less when they're going through their tantrum
Absolutely.
or that. We actually look at them and we're like, it's okay. The baby will snap out of it. Sometimes they drive us crazy,
Yes.
especially us when they see us around. And you know, this still my sweet little boy, my sweet little girl. It's the same way. Probably God and the universe will see you as,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's all right to recognize and definitely change your mindset and say, tomorrow is another day.
Yeah.
And also something I recently learned the hard way is to see good in every situation, no matter how bad it looks. Just see the good in every situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah.
That's really
And
hard.
trust me,
because
especially, yes, when you're in the middle of it, you're like, nothing
There's
is
nothing
working.
good, yeah.
Nothing is working. And I had the bad habit of literally throwing all my toys out of the pram.
Really?
Bam! I'm done.
Yeah.
Notice, I'm like, okay, if this has happened, perhaps this other thing is going to happen. Pinky, there's always something good in every situation. Even if you don't see it then, sometimes I always say, just take it with a smile, take it lightheartedly, especially if you don't have control
Yes.
over it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's true. We don't have control of anything except
Nothing.
of
Yeah.
what we do and what we think and our breath. I
Breathe.
like that you took a deep breath there. Breathe
through it.
in and out.
Yes.
You're big on social media, and you know you have a lot of following. You give it a lot of time. What would you tell people who are watching, who look at social media and feel like, oh, I want to be there, I want to look like that, I want to drive that car?
Yeah.
What is, because you're in it, So you know the work that goes behind
Absolutely.
it. And I know most of the times, you know, a lot of people post the pretty side of life.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. All of it. Majority of the people will only share the good side of life. Nobody's special. Everybody is going through something. Everybody has a challenge. It's just the way life is. So sometimes I keep saying you're looking at, you have your plate with very nice food, but you keep peeping at your other person's you know, food. Instead of nourishing yourself with what you have, you become a bitter person, you become angry, you become the why not me kind of a person. Just work with what you have and make the best out of it. There's something I get a lot in my messages, and it's from young women, and they tell me, oh, Maureen, I want to be just like you. And I'm like, girl, no. I want you to be just like the best version of you.
Yes.
There's a reason why we're all unique beings.
Absolutely.
We are placed in the world to actually serve a purpose. And if my purpose is to inspire, Pinky's purpose is to do something else.
Yes.
Everybody has a purpose.
Yes.
Identify that and live for it and live fully. And I wish more people can embrace that and stop minding, you know,
everyone's
what the other person is doing.
Yeah.
In fact, look at a person and I can tell you, just draw inspiration. I am who I am because I've drawn inspiration, and not looking at women and I'm like, why not me? Why is my waistline not as small as hers? And that's when I'll start thinking, maybe surgery, maybe that. I'm just like, girl, looks good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I have mine. Maybe mine will never go below a certain level, but you don't know what they do in their day-to-day activities that make them who they are.
Yeah.
You don't know the challenges they go through. Just embrace your own journey. Yeah.
That's so important. Good and bad. Embrace it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
embrace it.
there is two sides. Everything is a balance.
It's a balance.
Talk to me about your business,
Yeah.
your hair. Earlier we were talking about hair.
Yeah.
And I've seen you with your fro.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What do you like as a businesswoman?
Well, the money. Ching, 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 ching. The money, definitely. And for me, it's more or less when I started.
Can I just say?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people sort of be like, I do business for money. Everyone's like, well, you know, it's hard work. And so I love you for that honesty.
It pays the bills, and the bills make life comfortable.
Yes.
Come on, it is what it is.
I like that, Maureen.
Right. So yeah, other than the money, I started my hair business to, okay, so this is the way I live my life. Again, going back to what I just said, make the best out of what you have. You've seen my fro, and I usually say if you cannot afford that human hair worth maybe $8,000, or there's actually hair that is there's very expensive. Look, yours is priceless, but on a serious note, you find the best of the best hair. You know, it's out there and it has a price. Why not work with what you have? And at that time, being I was a people at a law firm, and I've always loved looking good. I love fine things in life.
Yes.
And I used to say, I don't need to break the bank for that. So I came up with these hair extensions, which will give this fine look without having anybody break the bank.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, it just keeps going, and people buy the extensions and they change it. And it's about also the idea of DIY, you know, do it yourself.
Yes.
You don't always need to go to the salon every week.
Yeah.
Why not do it in the morning? Why not do it every day for the week?
Yeah.
You perfect your art like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So is there an expansion to your business coming soon?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I am.
Anything you're going to tell us?
Yes. Actually, I'm very patient, so I'm doing my research because I also do things when they should be done. I don't believe in forcing things. I know it's very risky to say that, especially when I'm in business, but I like studying what's happening.
Okay.
Not just near me, but out there. What is the in thing?
Yeah.
What's going on? How can I get it? How can I get it here at the best price possible? Yes. So
to anyone who's a budding entrepreneur, what sort of words of advice, what would you tell him or her? You know, because a lot of the times we are fearful. We're like,
No, it's
oh,
true.
I don't know,
It's
I don't
true.
know.
It's true.
What's the advice you can give them?
Wow. What the first thing that comes to mind is very simple. Don't wait to have 1 million shillings to start your business. I started mine with less than 10,000 bob.
Amazing.
You know, yeah. In fact, I used to sew the hair with my
Yourself,
hands.
yeah.
Yes, and start with what you have. Be so passionate such that it starts selling itself. You know, the Swahili said, you know, I won't even say it in Swahili, but
No,
they say
please say it
something
in
good.
Swahili.
Yeah, kizuri chajiuza.
Okay.
And that's what it takes for a person to see something and they're like, wow, this is a nice item. And I can always go back. So patience, start with that one item. Like giving the example of the egg. As people start a business with 1 egg, you know?
Yeah.
It's worth what, 7 shillings? 8? I don't eat eggs, but I know the price. Go buy 2 more. Keep growing and be extremely consistent. Like, there's nothing that breaks any business than lack of consistency. Keep going at it. Keep improving on it, and just work with what you have.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what else are we going to see from you, Maureen, in the coming years? There's always something exciting you're doing.
Yeah.
What are you working on?
Well, my life is so...
It's crazy. She's just come from a shoot as well.
I remember someone asking me, do you actually have 24 hours in your day?
Yes,
You
yeah.
seem to be just going at it. And I usually say it's just prioritizing the things that matter.
Yeah.
What is coming from me, I think for now, is just more consistency and a lot of business behind the scenes.
Okay.
Not what you see on social media.
Sure.
So I'm doing a lot of investing in other businesses,
Okay.
which at that time I'll just be, you know, shareholder here
Yes,
and there.
yeah.
In fact, that's my main aim this year. I've already secured a few because, again, I believe in, you know, different streams of income.
Yes.
And I usually say if it's 20 shillings here and you have 20 shillings from different companies, maybe 5 of them, that makes 100.
Bob, yeah.
Instead of being stuck at that 100.
Yeah.
So I believe in just slow beginning and again working with what you have. But there's a lot of away from the scene, but I'll still keep my face out there because that's my brand.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm going to be the dark with very busy feet down there, unseen.
Yeah. Really.
Yes.
Swimming
but
hard.
Very calm up here. Yes.
What does it take to do it all?
Good question. Like I've said, you don't have to do it all. Do the necessary. Do what gives you good vibes, do what gives you profit, do what matters. You have to really select, sieve, and say, it's going to be like this and that and that and that. And for me, I learned the secret when I was still in school, whereby you know, the things that you see your peers doing and you're like, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, I would save my money just to travel. Instead of saving my money to buy myself shoes and maybe a bottle of something, I'll just go exploring. And I feel like that would bring wealth in knowledge of knowing what's happening in the world. So just taking what is important. Wow. Only important things and only important people. Give attention to those, and everything else is noise.
How do you handle toxicity?
Cut it off.
Simple.
Simple.
But what what makes you get to that level? Because it's easier said than done.
Yes. It's if you're not okay, if you're not functioning okay, and you can be toxic yourself.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's why you have to go to a therapist and say, hey, I have this bad habit whereby I don't trust anybody, and that makes me a very toxic human. How can I work on it? So recognition, and also accepting and appreciating. For instance, let me use the example of friends. You can have a toxic friend. You don't really need to cut them off to throw them in the dustbin, but you'd know how far they can come. Create a boundary. If it's a situation or a conversation with somebody that doesn't, it's just toxic from the word go, cut it off. I'm very unapologetic when it comes to that. Learned the hard way.
And would you say you are like a phoenix who rises from the ashes?
Absolutely.
Really?
I know for a fact there's a huge shift that has happened in my life, at least in the last 2 years.
Really?
Huge. Huge. I'm not the same girl.
Are you going to expound on that, or are you going to leave us hanging?
Let's leave it right there. But I'm not the same woman I was 2 years ago.
But it's important, right? To evolve.
Absolutely. And again, it comes from a combination of all these things we're discussing, Pinky, because it's about, let me tell you, I think the greatest gift anybody could give themselves is self-awareness, and also being aware of the surroundings. And the minute you get that, you have your power on. Because I don't know if you ever watched Game of Thrones, but
no, I never did.
So there's a dwarf. Whoever has watched GOT will understand. The dwarf. There was a dwarf and a bastard son. Sorry to use that word, but it is GOT. And he said, the dwarf told the boy, "Listen, you're a bastard. And everybody knows that. Own it and wear it on your sleeve. Nobody is ever going to use that against you, ever." And so, when you're aware and you know your weaknesses, come on, there are things you can't change. Own them and say, this is who I am. What you going to do about it? Nobody's going to use that against you.
Absolutely. Because once you own it.
Even situations.
There's something that I learned in the media a long time ago, that if you are able to laugh at yourself first,
that's it.
Then if other people laugh at you, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. It becomes, and it's not a one-off thing. You just don't say this and that and that. You grow it within you. It can be hard sometimes, but you grow it within you. And I see people, like even maybe you and I, as women growing up or just being who we are, there's always something they will try to pick on us. Maybe something about you is too small. Something about you is too big.
Too light,
hey,
too dark.
No, I didn't give God the memo to create me. I think I'm his perfect creature. And there's nothing you're going to do about it. So it's an attitude also. It's an attitude. You say, you know what, this is who I am. I accept myself, because sometimes we are our own greatest enemies.
Yes, I agree, because sometimes the things we say to ourselves, we will never
say to other people.
To anyone else.
In fact, ask yourself, if this person was my sister, would I let? No.
Anyone, even your worst enemy, you would not be able to say the things that you say to yourself.
Think about it. We're always saying, oh, I wouldn't wish this even on my worst enemy. And it's a very powerful statement. And I think that's when you have to recognize, what about me? What happens when everybody is out of the door? Who's got you? It has to be you. Be your best friend before anything else.
Oh my God, Maureen, don't you have the rest of the afternoon to spend with us and share all this light? You're quite something.
Could always come back.
And yes, you'll come back. And of course, I think this has all come from just everything you've been through. And I think you are the perfect example of when you go through something, you grow through that.
Oh yes. Walk through it, let it burn, and arise on the other side. So yeah, it makes everything faster. You know, you heal faster.
You just go through it. Go through it.
Yeah.
Handle it.
It's very simple. Remember that thing they put like coals, like hot coals.
Walk on them.
If you keep fairing or stepping on it, going back, just go get over and done with it. You won't burn maybe.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. But not as much.
Yeah. Wow.
That's life.
Keep doing you, girl. Oh my God. Maureen and I would love to hear from you. Why don't you drop a comment? Let us know what you think of what Maureen said, what she said about, you know, growing her business and how business is bottom line. It's about making the money. What about what she said about being a phoenix rising from the ashes? What do you think of that statement as well? I think that's powerful. Thank you so much, Maureen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for your consideration.
Amazing.
I'm honored. I really am.
Oh, thank you. So am I. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, on this show, we teach you to be brave enough to unlearn. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.